welcome to Lima, Peru. Welcome to another live, surprise live from Barranco, from this incredible district of Lima where art, culture, good cuisine, also good taste in the architecture meet. So I was doing a tour here in Barranco, just finished my tour, and well, going back to my car, I wanted to do a little live from well this part of the city to show you a bit of this location. Why walking alone if I can walk with you? So let me show you a bit of what's in Barranco today, this Wednesday, this a bit chilly Wednesday of July. We are in the time of the year when it gets quite cold, so, well, at least cold for us. So let's see a bit of how well, this district looks like in this season. I've taken you to Barranco in many other occasions, but I think I've never taken you to this part of the district. We usually walk down to through the pathway to the beach, in direction to the ocean. By the way, these days it's not possible to do that, to complete the walk down to the beach. Yesterday, very early, in early hours in the morning, on July 15, 2025, an incident happened on the freeway down, the Costa Verde freeway. A truck impacted the bridge, the historic Barranco bridge that leads to the ocean. So unfortunately, that section had to be blocked for its maintenance, restoration. This is something that is happening quite often. It is really sad also to say it, because everybody knows about the height of that bridge. But well, so I hope it's fixed soon, because this is indeed one of the highlights of the district of Barranco. So look at these houses here. The architecture right in front of us is well, dates back the beginnings of the 20th century. In the 19th century, there were also multiple houses built in this part of the city, but those houses were much more like modest or smallest dimensions. But that section over there, you see, it definitely corresponds to a house that was monumental, with some touches of like a colonial style. There were many houses that were sort of like Moorish inspired, with this sort of like a union of Spanish with Arab influence that later came to Peru. So we continue walking in this direction, and so most of the times I don't really come into this part, but it's so pretty, so beautiful, so many bougainvilleas everywhere. That's why we say that we don't have a true winter, because in winter it's expected that there is like extreme low temperatures, and it's so cold that flowers cannot blossom, and we have flowers blossoming in the city of Lima all year round. So we just have two seasons in Lima. One very hot season, which is, well, the summer season for us, January, February, March especially, but also the border months. No? So starting November, we get to see blue sky in Lima, November, December, and then we have January, February, March. April, it starts to be a little bit more chilly, and then we have the gray season. This is the gray season of Lima, very gray, a bit sad also, perfect for vampires, perfect for Gothics. If you are Gothic, you would love to be here in Lima for 6 months. No sunlight, guaranteed, but not cold. We never really have a cold day, a true cold day. The coldest days in winter are about like 14 degrees Celsius. So well, it's reasonable. It's quite reasonable. So one way to go down to the pathway to the beach is from here, is walking these stairs over here, walking down these stairs. So it takes you these stairs to the main pathway to the beach. Also, this is one alternative to go to the ocean. You know already the ocean is not like the entrance is not open, so we will take a different way to, let's say, to around this pathway, because we are not going really down to the beach from here. But just informing you, if you see my video, for example, because I will be posting this as a video later, and you want to know how to go down to the beach, so that's an option. Okay, so look at this houses here. So houses from the beginnings of the 20th century. Some of them have been fixed recently to make them like restaurants, to turn them into Airbnbs, hotels, boutique hotels. The flag of Peru is there hanging, not just in that window, also here in the window of this house and in the next building. And this is something you will be seeing a lot here in this season in July, because July is the month of the independence, is the month of the celebration of the independence of Peru. Peru's independence was declared in the year 1821, July 28th, 1821. And July, also the month of the independence of Canada, the month of the independence of the United States, Argentina, so far I remember as well. There are many countries that celebrate their independence in July, is also our month. So during the month of July, we, as the nationalistic people we put the flags of Peru in the house, at the entrance of the house. But also we do it because it's an obligation. It's let's say like a moral obligation for Peruvians. Hola Marilu, thanks for joining. Hola dear, thanks for being here. So I'm taking you to Barranco today. So if we don't do that, we can get a fine. At least if we don't have it on the flag on the central days, which are like from the 27th, you are supposed to have it, 28th and 29th of July. Okay, so this is a wooden balcony, typical of the colonial Moorish influence. So the origin of these balconies is not even Spain. These balconies came from the north of Africa, from Egypt also. They have a Muslim origin, and they later on in Spain they were adapted to the climatic conditions. The reason why this art went there to the Iberian Peninsula is because of the 800 years of Moorish influence, Muslim influence in the Iberian Peninsula. After the reconquest, the Christian reconquest of that territory, the style remain, the art remained, but Christianized, of course. So the mosques, for example, were turned into churches, or the houses of the authorities of these, let's say, Muslim kingdoms were also converted into houses for the, now new leaders, Christian leaders. So keeping the original character, but adding also Christian touches like crosses and images. So we continue over here, and now we will keep walking these quiet streets. So, oh, Marilu, I've been watching your story. Oh, no, no worries. Oh, please, anytime you join to my history tours in any also of the platforms I'm doing, because I'm streaming from different platforms, be welcome to chat. If you don't know how to, let me know it somehow, like send me a private text. I can help you also, Marilu. I'm so happy to have you in any of my events. So here we can see also more properties in Barranco. Look at this. If you want to come and buy, Barranco is really an interesting location for future investments. So I think Barranco has this very unique character that offers, let's say, like the tranquility that if you are going to invest in a hotel, in a restaurant, in a cultural center, it will definitely not like a payback. So I am looking for, in the future, not now, in the future, to move into Barranco. This is something I have in my heart for a long time, and I would love to buy an old house, an old Barranquino house, and fix it and turn it into some type of cultural center, something like that. Maybe live in the second floor and keep something cultural in the first floor. So who knows? Maybe that's a dream. But well, every project starts with a dream. Look at this other house over there. Oh my God, this is another precious construction in Barranco. So houses like this type were houses for for social purposes. Unlike the colonial houses that we see in the historic center of Lima, which are houses that are very introverted with this temperament of keeping your private things inside, like keeping your life inside, like with the wooden balconies that are enclosed, and that don't allow people to see what's happening inside and how women look like. So women should remain sort of covered. At least in the colonial times, the high-class women used veils every time they went out. But the idea was not just for, well, a modesty idea like originally started. It was more related with this character of secrecy, of keeping, for example, your love interest from, the general knowledge, because the veil will only be probably removed every time the lady saw her love interest in the streets. So to invite this man, to get a little bit closer to her. So these girls were coquettish. They were using the veil for seduction and not for modesty. But the original reason to use the veil was, of course, related with the Muslim influence in the Iberian Peninsula. And well, once the territory was reconquered by Christians, the fashion remained, but not the religious rituals. Okay, so well, this house, on the other hand, has an entrance that looks, and if we get a little bit closer, we can see it. It gets inviting. It's inviting into the house. We can even imagine, for example, people being welcomed into this location, people being greeted in this location, for example. So this is pretty much the idea, the socialization idea of these houses. These are houses from a different period as well. Houses from the 19th century, houses that were done with the intention of inviting neighbors in. Okay, so well, this is a little bit of the idea of this different style from Barranco, contrary to the one in the historic center of Lima. So all of these houses have this space, these social spaces, which in some houses that still are used as homes by Barranquino people, and I mean the traditional Barranquinos that are for generations here. In this space, for example, that you see here, in this section, what they have is chairs, they have some seats, sofas, they have a little table, coffee table, and they just see their neighbors passing, and sometimes their neighbors are invited, and they have nice conversations here at the entrance of the house. Also keep in mind that these houses were designed to be used during the summer season. So that's why these houses are so tall. They are very, very tall houses. So for example, if we move in this direction, we see people are the third part of the height, of the total height of the house, and this is just one level. This is the first level of the house. Sometimes there are two levels, but it was not so usual. So these are houses that are very tall. They are very well ventilated, and this is the intention that in summer, well, the houses will be always having a constant flow of air, cold air inside. So well, this used to be a bar. I cannot remember the name of the bar. It's going to come in a minute to my mind. But Songoro Kosongo, I think it was named Songoro Kosongo. And sadly, damage caused by some type of leaking inside the house that damaged a wall, very important wall in the building. Well, led to the closing of this business. So, well, it's so sad because it was a bar. It was a famous bar. It had food also. So well, and if you want to rent well, just in case. But if you rent it, you have to take care of a little problem, which is just around the corner, and is this one over here. So, by the way, let me know if you are able to see me, if you are able to receive images right, because sometimes the internet is not so friendly with me, especially in the streets. So this is the the problem that the construction faces now, and all started with some form of leaking in the building that eventually made the wall, the entire wall. This is the wall that collapsed, and thanks God it didn't collapse over people. It happened very late at night, so there was so late that, because usually at night you have lots of people walking, but it was like, or maybe too early in the morning, let's say. So there was no one walking this street, and that's how finally, well, the wall collapsed, so revealing the material inside the house. The material is mud bricks. So all of it, mud brick walls that were the ones who also well, conform all of the constructions of Barranco. Cement was used in Peru just quite recently. I mean, in the beginnings of the 20th century, still many buildings, many houses were built in mud bricks. The first house built with cement is from the 1910s in Lima, and it was a very rich family, the one who built that house. So we will now continue. Oh, look at that beautiful dog over there. A tortolita and a saffron finch here at the bridge. We have lots of beautiful species of birds in this location. So this is the Bridge of Sighs, the most romantic, most famous bridge we have in Lima. So many people come to the bridge to propose, to say, and promise love forever. And we have, all of us, all Limanians have at least one story related with this bridge. If it's not a fun story, it's a romantic story. Look at those Frenchies over there. So pretty. The Bridge of Sighs is the place where also usually professional photography happens, especially schools for graduation purposes, school graduations, yearbooks, for example. So this is the preferred location for those pictures, yearbook pictures. And here we have the church El Ermita. This is the oldest church of Barranco. It's a church dating back the 18th century. And it's also an example of the importance of the presence of the faith among Peruvians, among Limanians, and especially Barranquino. People from Barranco are Barranquino. I was going to ask you if there was bridge in the pastures. Yes, this is the one, Mary Lou. This is the one. This is the Bridge of Sighs. Let me show you also. I'll turn to the back, to my back, so you can see the bridge better. The Bridge of Sighs, Puente de los Suspiros. Suspiros. This is the bridge where lovers met in secret. Boys on one side of the bridge, girls on the other side of the bridge. Usually girls accompanied with their chaperones also, because girls couldn't be on their own. And especially like with boys, impossible. So they were always accompanied with an adult, someone, but at the distance of the bridge, they look at each other's, the boy, the girl, and they sigh. They sigh for that love that, well, couldn't become a reality. It was something more platonic, probably. And it remained like that. The excuse to come to this bridge was to go to the church. So we can see bougainvilleas in the distance. I love them. These are the most popular flowers you can find in Lima. Yes, it is so romantic. This story is romantic. Also sad in thinking on those lovers who were never able to to be together because of their social classes. People who came to Barranco were coming here to seal business deals, to get new business friends. And one of the best ways to create ties, connections with a family that you wanted to get involved deeply was marrying one of your kids with a child of that other family. So that's usually what happened, and still is something that happens among the wealthiest families. They marry between them. So here we can see two sculptures. One of them, this one, is actually the most important one of both of them. This is a statue of Chabuca Granda, one of the greatest singers, composers, musicians also of Peru, known around the world to melómanos, to people who love good music. And she is a representative of a musical rhythm called música criolla, Peruvian música criolla. And the Creole music is a rhythm that has elements that come from Europe, also Afro influence, local indigenous influence. It's such an interesting rhythm. So Chabuca Granda had a very good friend, Antonio de la Valle, who she used to create the lyrics of a beautiful song, Jose Antonio. So Jose Antonio dressed up as chalan, like a cowboy, like a Peruvian cowboy. That's how we call the Peruvian cowboys, chalan. In Argentina, they are called gauchos. He's riding a paso horse. So in that song, Jose Antonio, I hope you can play it later online. She explains about how handsome this man was and how he ride his horse and how he went in the winter time from Barranco to downtown Lima riding his paso horse. So very romantic also. She had a platonic love, of course, for Jose Antonio de la Valle. So let's continue. We're coming to the last part of the walking here in Barranco. I hope you are finding this walking fun, entertaining, also informative. If you come to Barranco, use this video to be given an idea of what to see. If you're coming to Lima, don't miss visiting Barranco, of course. At daytime, at nighttime, it's always fun coming to this location. At daytime, you will see lots of kids also. And they are very well behaved, by the way. They are very well behaved. And at nighttime, lots of bars and nightclubs and restaurants. So again, it's always fun. So very well, we are now on the top for the last view of this tour, of this off the beaten path tour of Barranco. And thank you so much for being with this in these minutes with me. We've been 20-something minutes together walking here in Barranco. It is always a pleasure to show you more of Lima. I try to do this sort of surprise live events every time I am going to work. I do something related with history. So I save some time to be with you. So let me flip the camera to the other side and to say also bye to you all. Hope to see you in my next live events. Also visit my channel in YouTube. I have here in this platform, I'm streaming from YouTube. You can also see previous events, videos recorded from other tours, webinars about history, about Peruvian history. I am a professional tour guide here in Lima, Peru, guiding for many years here in Lima. So if you ever come to the city in person and you want to have a guided tour, let me know, please, also. And hope to see you next time in my next events. Best to you all and see you soon. Bye-bye. Ciao. Ciao, amigos. Take care. Gracias, Marilu, for being with me today.